This is the big one, Lake Havasu City, the World Outboard Championship. 114 boats run for a purse of $50,000. The site is the Colorado River on the Arizona-California border. Boat number 33, Caesar Scotti from Nesso, Italy, also looks to victory. Scotti, like McConnell, races under the banner of Evinrude Motors. Scotti pilots a 21-foot Molinari boat with a twin installation of 115 horsepower outboards. He drives with discipline. He is a graduate of marathons throughout Europe, South Africa, and the United States. Scotti pilots with precision in his drive for the title.
The World Championship of Outboard Racing was always held on Thanksgiving, which is the last weekend in November. Here's Bob Nordskog and his wife Ellie arriving at Lake Havasu Thursday afternoon to prepare for the World Outboard Championships that weekend. Racing teams came from all over the world to try and win the championship. It took a team effort to have any chance of winning. Competitors came from the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Italy, Austria, and even Argentina. Bob was owner of Powerboat Magazine and president of the American Powerboat Association, as well as a competitor. There's Bob and Noel Younger on their way to the pits and the local motel. There was a lot of logistics involved to attend a race of this magnitude and try and win the World Championships. There's Jim Hurtubise from New York preparing for the big race. There's the OMC support truck with all its power heads, lower units, and props. And what race would not be complete without girls? There's your eventual winner in 1969, Caesar Scotti, going over the engine height with an OMC pit crew member. There's a dual Glastron Molinari with a pair of Mercury 125 BPs and Bob Switzer wing with dual Johnson Stingers. There's number 56, Jim Hurtubise of Indianapolis 500 fame with his 19-foot Wickens hull powered by dual Evinrude Starflights. Number 11, Tom Armstead and Mike Reagan, the president's son. Number 321, Henry Koopman. Number 44, George Bueller from Seattle, Washington. Number 148, Dick Shearer, and even a dual Chrysler Stacker. Dick Shearer in his 18-foot Glastron Molinari. A triple Merc BP-powered Ron Jones. Number 44, the dual Merc BP-powered homemade Tigercraft of the infamous George Bueller from Seattle, Washington, with his daughter as pit crew. Havasu was always a family affair. Number 69, Dave Packer from Honolulu, Hawaii. And number 56, Jim Hurtubise. UU100, Billy Siebold, and X50, Jim Merton in Triple Trouble. Noel Younger was a longtime employee of the Nordskogs and a family friend. He was also a navigator for Bob when he was offshore racing. Carl Asmus was the first editor of Powerboat Magazine starting in 1968. He was the editor for the first 3 years before Bob Brown took over. Carl co-drove OPC with Nordskog in the late 60s and early 70s. Here they are registering in their bid to win the World Outboard Championships in 1969. You can see many of the official blue Pepsi jackets at the registration table. Bob and Carl, after paying their entry fee, and there's the late Jim Howenstein and a triple Chrysler stacker. Looks like the OMC Brain Trust's plotting strategy on Thursday afternoon before testing on Friday. All 114 competitors use Thursday to register and stake their location in the pits. In the parking lot, you see single, dual, and triple outboards on every kind of DV, tunnel, and wing you could imagine. Then add Mercury, Evinrude, Johnson, and Chrysler trying to win at any cost, and you just had a sense history was going to be made. Bob Nordskog and Carl Asmus were about to find out that it is very difficult to win the World Championship of Outboard Racing.
Jerry Wallen, who set the record by driving Starflight 4 at more than 131 miles an hour. Wallen established the record just a few miles from here in 1966. For this race, he co-drives with veteran Dick Sharp of Seattle. Indianapolis Speedway champ Jim Hurtubise, competing in this race for the second year. The Flying Canuck, Ray Fernandez's entry from Ontario. Jim McConnell, a former California High Point champion. He's a truly Native American, a descendant of the Cherokees. Fred Howenstein, aircraft engineer, another former High Point champ in California. Ron Hill, 24 years old, Commodore, the Southern California Outboard Association. Bill Wiles of Kansas City, an endurance racer for the past 5 years. The Bergauer brothers from Milwaukee, racing as a team. Both are members of the Gulf Racing Hall of Fame. Caesar Scotty, age 32, second overall at Havasu last year. A tough competitor, resolute, a man with a single purpose, to win.
And a view of the OMC pits on Thursday before the World Championships on Saturday and Sunday. The lull before the storm. Number 140, Bobby Massey Switzer Wing, powered by dual Mercury 125 BP stackers. The control tower, and the best seats in the house. Number 119, Kenny Kitson, winner of the World Championships the year before in 1968. T22, Mickey Muick's 20-foot Sidewinder, powered by dual Mercury 125 stackers. Number 17, Ron Boyce with his 17-foot Dutchman powered by Mercury BPs, and a Power Cat with dual BPs also. Number 321, Henry Koopman. Number 9, Rudy Ramos, 22-foot Jones powered by triple Mercury BPs. Kenny Kitson milling around before going back out on the course to test on Friday afternoon. Number 33, Bob Nordskog and his dual Johnson-powered Switzer Wing. Bob was owner of Powerboat Magazine and president of the APBA. His co-driver was editor Carl Asmus. Number 135, Dave Sparks and co-driver Jerry Gwynn in a dual BP-powered Switzer Wing. 1968 World Outboard Champion winner Kenny Kitson. The Johnson and Evinrude pits staked out on Thursday before testing on Friday. You can see the two-cycle mix smoke rising from the launching ramp warm-ups. There's Kitson coming out of the pits, getting ready to test. Getting Miss Diablo all fired up to go back out on the course. Meanwhile, Bob Nordskog tests out his Johnson Stinger engines on his Switzer wing. And again you see the smoke from the pits. A good example of a trailer warm-up. Number 74, Gene Peel and Tinker Collins in their dual Merc Stacker 22-foot Glastron Molnary. Co-driver Carl Asmus testing on Friday afternoon. You can see how big the wakes are as Bob brings his wing back to the pits. That's where Joe Fielder hit that wake leading the first lap in 1970, and the rest, shall we say, is history. Co-driver and Powerboat Magazine editor Carl Asmus getting a bit of seat time in the Switzer wing on Friday afternoon. Here he is debriefing with his crew. This is Friday afternoon testing. The official scores and their numbered bibs. All the fans in the stands. The official clock. And the pits in the control tower with the black flag blowing in the wind. The Glastron Molnary pits, all the crew in the coveted yellow Glastron Molnary coveralls, and a panoramic view of the pits from one end to the other. 114 competitors getting ready to do battle for 2 days. The Glastron Molnary crew was one of many, including Mercury, Evinrude, Johnson, and Chrysler. Tens of thousands of fans were treated to 2 days of racing for 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. There's an official Pepsi jacket. There you see the OMC pit area with their stranglers and stingers. One of the many patrol boats out on the course ready to pull broken down boats back to the pits. A look at the OMC pits with the triple Mercury stacker of past champion Rudy Ramos smack dab in the middle. How intimidating is that? You can see everybody getting positioned for the 15-minute warning where if you start your engine, you were disqualified. There's the extreme end of the pits that extended all the way back to the marina.
The World Championship is a 2-day event. 114 boats start the race. Only 45 will be running at the finish.
20 seconds and counting.
The course is 4 miles long in the shape of a boomerang. It's run 4 hours each day. The winner is the driver covering the most miles in 8 hours.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
All the OMCs have waited 30 seconds. There they go. Must be some kind of strategy because the start is so dangerous. There's the leaders on the first lap. More boats are coming by the start-finish line, and number 333, Bob Nordskog, is still in the pits. Number 34, Ted May. 135, Fred Sparks. And number 9, Rudy Ramos. One of the many deep V's entered. 2 Mercury-powered Switzer wings going head-to-head. Does it get any better than that? Meanwhile, Bob Nordskog is still in the pits. That's one weird-looking boat there. 141, Joe Habe. 871, Doc Appleton. 112, Don Pruitt. And 119, Kenny Kitson, who won the previous year, 1968, at the World Championships. Two single Merc stackers going head-to-head with the triple stacker of number 5, Robert George, trying to overtake. This footage was shot by Tracy Coleman from what they call The Point, where there is a buoy for a right-hand turn. Tracy had been scorekeeping for number 3, John Taylor, who was knocked out on day 1. A lot of Switzer wings. I believe at least a dozen were entered in 1969. Here's a good look at the backstretch leading up to the right-hand turn. This view shows the far side of the 4-mile course leading to the beginning of the backstretch and the backstretch itself. You can see there's still a lot of boats out on the course, like T135 Dave Sparks and Jerry Gwynn, 24 Dick Williams and Gene Lanham, 322 Tom McGovern and Roger Johnson, and 108 the Flag Brothers from Texas. T12 Wally Heiser in an 18-foot Monarch, a triple Merc BP-powered racing craft, 74 Gene Peel and Tinker College, a triple Merc Stacker Jones, a Switzer wing, and number 148 Dick Shearer. And even a dual Chrysler Stacker powered boat. A triple Merc BP Power Cat being passed by a Switzer wing like it's standing still. Number 612, Gary Ferguson. 51, Fred Bradshaw. A couple of Glass-drawn Mollinaries. Number 131, Bill Wiles. A triple Merc stacker and dual stacker, Ron Jones. 34, Ted May, flying by everybody. Number 7, Jeff Titus. 32, Fred and Jim Hallenstein. Number 6, Bob Witt and Jerry Craig. Number 30, Jimbo McConnell, first overall single, A Glimpse of Things to Come. Number 10, Mike Quayle and Tom Stickle. And T199, Ed Stewart and Don Edmondson. UU23, Gene Lanham and Dick Williams. 61, Butch Schmidt and Bob Best from Seattle, Washington. And 114 is Dieter Schultz from Austria. And 612, Gary Ferguson with the red feather and plume on his helmet. What a character. Number 65, Rich Marshall. And your current leader, number 33, Caesar Scotty, passing everyone on the inside. A triple Merc stacker with full fuel load trying to get on plane. 98, Lee Richter and Boots Hansen. 107, Lou Burnett and a triple stacker still trying to get on plane. T135, Dave Sparks. And T66, Ray Zapponi. A dual Chrysler stacker powered Deep V. 188 Bob Ogle in a dual Merc Stylecraft. The diversity of the boat and motor combinations in this race was incredible. Singles, duals, and triples, Mercury's, Chryslers, and even OMC stackers. T108, the Flag Brothers. 174, the Springate Brothers. Number 31, Dennis and Dwayne Berghauer in an OMC-powered Dutchman wing. The action was hot and heavy at the point. A triple Merc-powered Glastron Molinary and a Power Cat with triple Merc stackers. Number 98, Lee Richter. 108, a Switzer wing from Texas. This particular spot had to be one of the best places to watch a race. You were so close you could almost reach out and touch the boats going by. A Switzer wing passing everybody on the inside. Number 30, Jimbo McConnell, first single. X50, Jim Merton. Number 99, Bill Soroyas, ended up in third place. There's a Canadian boat. 617, Gary Ferguson. And 871, Doc Appleton. 74, Gene Peel.
McConnell refuels. Leadfoot Jimbo won the Needles Marathon a few miles from here just a month ago. The race is hot, hotter for some than others. Scotty's pit stop is less than a minute. Fuel capacity of the boat is 70 gallons. Scotty has also claimed an 8-lap victory in the South African 6-hour Enduro. Unrelenting, Scotty drives for the title. Johnny Sanders' always tough competition is just that at Havasu. Ron Hill's boat isn't as fast as some, but he drives it beautifully. Scotty steers down the straightaway at slightly more than 100 miles an hour. He's over the line. Caesar Scotty setting a new world record. 584 miles at an average speed of 73 miles an hour. For Scotty, this was the title drive. He rode for the title, and he won it. Johnny Sanders finishes a lap and a half behind. Few drivers combine the skill, the tenacity, the control of boat and self as Scotty. Outboard Marine's Ralph Evinrude is among the first to acknowledge a stunning performance. It's a big day for Jimbo McConnell, 6th overall, first single engine. Evinrude's Bob West extends a cordial reception. The accolades go to Caesar Scotty, but the sense of achievement goes to all who finish. For this is the big one, the World Championship. And to be a part of it is to accept the greatest challenge in outboard racing.
The 130, Jack McGillis nearly driving right up on the beach. At the conclusion of the race, some of the boats milled around waiting for the trailers to back down to the launching ramp. 117 is John Henry Price, a wing from Ohio and a broken Chrysler stacker being towed in. The wind-tattered Evinrude banner pretty well tells the story. 107, Lou Burnett's triple Merc stacker powered by Jones.